Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer appearing to take a page out of Speaker Pelosi's playbook as he pushes a key vote on that infrastructure bill today. That bill hasn't even been written yet. So, remember this back in 2010?
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it away from the fog of the controversy.
Here to discuss, member of the House Oversight Committee, Kentucky Congressman James Comer. Sir, thanks for being here. Is it fair to the American people for things to pass in Congress without everyone being aware of what is in them?
No, it's not fair to the Republicans in Congress. It's certainly not fair to the American people or the taxpayers. This is a perfect example of what's wrong with Congress. What's going to happen today is Senator Schumer is going to force the Senate to vote on a bill that hasn't even been written and give him the authority to proceed and draft the bill that no one knows what's going to be in it. And, you know, the American people are sick and tired of this. This is something that I've seen more and more over my 4.5 years in Congress. The leadership, the Democrat leadership, continues to go down this road. We've seen this before with Nancy Pelosi and the Obamacare bill that's been so devastating on our healthcare system, and now they're trying to do it with a so-called infrastructure bill that we all know is going to have things in there like amnesty and Green New Deal policies and probably some type of legislation to change the labor laws. So it's bad policy, and it's just very disappointing to see Chuck Schumer do this.
But this isn't a rental car agreement that you sign without actually reading it. I mean, this is a bill that is going to potentially transform the United States of America, much like Obamacare was a bill that transformed health care. Why do Democrats seem to love this prematurity?
They can't agree on anything right now. You have the liberal Democrats, the socialist wing of the Democrat Party. They want to have an infrastructure bill that has what they call human infrastructure, that has their Green New Deal policies in there. The more moderate Democrats think more like most Americans. They want an infrastructure bill that repairs roads and bridges, that provides rural broadband in rural America and takes care of our waterway system, our inland waterway system. But, you know, the Democrats can't agree on anything, and I think Schumer's just trying to pass a shell bill to try to appease the Democrats later. Really, the Democrats have lost interest in infrastructure. Now they're focused on their reconciliation bill, which is going to have all of their social wish list spending in it. Right. And, you know, Schumer's just, he's in a tough spot right now.
Meantime, the House GOP report is hitting Joe Biden and Democrats on the border crisis as these new stats show the continued migrant surge. These are stark stats. Look at this. Up 571% year on year, June this year to June last year. And then look at this one as well. Border encounters fiscal year to date. That's pretty stark as well. Congressman, do you think the Biden administration reverses course on the border, say, before the midterms, or is this crisis our new reality?
I don't know. That's a great question. I hope they reverse course. They show no signs of reversing course. I can tell you the polling now shows that Americans are pretty frustrated with the Biden administration's border policies. Crime is going up. Drugs are going up. We all know that the fentanyl coming across the border is skyrocketing now. The taxpayers, once they learn how much they're having to pay for the temporary shelters being constructed all across the United States in what I consider new sanctuary cities to house these temporary immigrants, I think the American people are going to demand that the Democrats reverse course and do what they're supposed to do, and that's secure the southern border.
Yeah, well, as we know, it's not just a southern border problem. It infiltrates every community throughout this country, and it will continue to do so unless something's done about it. Congressman James Comer, as always, thank you, sir, for your time. Have a good day.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course.